The vacant BMF belt is on the line and is the headlining attraction for this UFC 291 card from Salt Lake. And there aren't two better guys you could find for this job. I mean, we got Justin Gaethje repping Safford, Arizona, the highlight, taking on Dustin Poirier. You might know him as the Diamond, and both of these guys are coming off beautiful recent wins. Most recently for Gaethje, it was a majority decision in London in a co-meet event against Rafael Fiziev, and that one netted him fight of the night. And I was there live. It was really an amazing performance, especially that third round. I mean, Gaethje, if you don't put him out early, he's a guy that can just keep coming and is very difficult to deal with in those later stages. And Fiziev found that out the hard way. And just a beautiful performance from Gaethje for sure. And what can you say about Dustin Poirier? I mean, the guy we saw most recently against Michael Chandler earned him fight of the night. He picked up that finish over him, and that was just super impressive for me because it would have been very easy for Gaethje to pack it in, be unmotivated after reaching the pinnacle, fighting for the belt against Charlie Olives, and losing by third-round submission. But he wasn't going to go out like that. He got a beautiful finish over an always tough Michael Chandler, and as a result of Masvidal departing the promotion, the UFC was like, hey, perfect time to resurrect this BMF belt. And the BMF belt, interestingly enough, is something that a lot of fighters seemingly want. And I don't want to say they want it more than the championship, but you hear a lot of guys calling for this BMF belt. And maybe it's the guys who know that they can't take Islam, they can't beat OGM, they can't really be the official champ. And so they set their sights on this BMF title. But nonetheless, it's definitely a popular one for sure amongst the fighters. And I'm curious, Meat Boy, do you think that Dustin Poirier is going to have enough to take out Justin Gaethje in this one? I mean, we know that this is a rematch. We know that he picked up a finish the first time around, but we also know that that was a fight of the night performance and one that was extremely back and forth, and one where Gaethje did make it to the fourth round, but ultimately had to succumb to the strikes that that Poirier was offering. So in this one, in the rematch, BMF belt on the line, who are you taking?
This is an absolute barn burner, amazing fight. This is the fight for the fans, and they're both coming off a win versus Michael Chandler, so they're both in the same boat. What a great matchup! And like you said, you know, they're bringing back the BMF belt, which rightfully so. These are two guys that definitely deserve that title. Who's gonna win? I don't know. I'm so torn in this one, to be honest, because I could see either one winning. Dustin got the better of him the first time. I think, though, that Justin will get it done this time. I think Justin's gotten a lot crispier since they first fought. I like that he's a dog, and I hope he wins purely because they will run it back for a third fight. I mean, who else are they going to send Dustin to a fight if he wins, right? And who else are they? And if Justin wins, then they have to run it back for a third time. But if Dustin wins, that's 2-0. That's a wrap. But then it's like, okay, Dustin versus Islam again. Like, who wants to see that? It's a very tough, weird situation. But both guys are in their prime, and they're also on their way out because they've been fighting forever. It feels like it's crazy that they're still only 34, not 44. But I gotta take the highlight with the slight upset. And hopefully they run it back for a third time.
Yeah, that's a fight that you can make 1,000 times, right? Like, who isn't going to want to watch Dustin Poirier versus the highlights every single time? I mean, that is guaranteed highlights for sure. And if we look at the odds, you touched on it being pretty close. Minus 135 is the Diamond, plus 115 is Gaethje, and 64%. I was a little surprised is rolling with Poirier in this one. A lot of Brown for the KO, and 36% is rolling with the highlight. If you're picking Gaethje to win in this second iteration, do you anticipate him finishing Poirier, or does this thing just become a drag-him-out slobber knocker for 25 minutes?
It definitely could be a drag-him-out slobber knocker. That would not surprise me at all. And I think he could win decision. But I think someone's getting slept. I really don't see this going past the second round. Either Dustin's going to sleep, or Justin Gaethje is being sent back to the Shadow Realm like the first time.
Yeah, I got a feeling this one's guaranteed fireworks. Obviously, that is not a hot take because I think most would assume so. But in the second iteration, Meat Boy, I just think Poirier is going to be a little bit too technical. I see Gaethje to eat too many shots across however long the fight goes, and I see, much like the first installment, Dustin getting a probably third, fourth, maybe even fifth round finish. But if Gaethje, to your point, has since 2018 really been able to refine his craft, I mean, working with Trevor Whitman, training with Usman every single day, maybe he will have what it takes to pick up the win against Poirier in the second installment. But I don't know, Meat. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be back and forth. But once they are trading blow for blow, I like Poirier to land the heavier, more damaging, and ultimately more fatal shots. So I'm going to go Poirier. I'm going to go by KO, maybe even a submission after a club and sub. And officially, I'll say it happens in the third round. But I'm always rooting for Gaethje. I hope that it is an absolute war. And to your point, if Gaethje can get this one done, of course you got to run that trilogy, eh?
100%. They better run that trilogy, and that's kind of how I'm seeing it. I'm hoping for it, and I like that he's a dog, but Dustin's no joke, so it would not surprise me if he demolidors from beginning to the end. Throw in the comments who you take and why, and smash that meat subscribe. Check out the meat lock. Yo!